Imagine waking up in the morning without the weight of financial worry. No anxiety about bills to pay, no fear of unexpected events that could destabilize your entire budget. This is the first step in the journey that Robert Kiyosaki presents to a profound transformation in the way we see money. Many of us were raised with limiting beliefs about wealth. Money doesn't bring happiness. The rich are always dishonest. I wasn't born to be rich. These are mental traps that keep us stuck in a cycle of scarcity. Kiyosaki challenges these beliefs, showing that true wealth begins in the mind long before it appears in your bank account. When we change our mindset, we begin to see opportunities where we once saw only problems. We start questioning traditional patterns like study, get a good job, and save money, which for many never led to true financial freedom. This is a transformative process that requires courage to let go of old habits and embrace new concepts. Changing your mindset also means understanding that wealth isn't just about money, it's about time and freedom. It's about building a system that works for you, instead of working endlessly for the system. It's about creating choices in your life, not just surviving from one paycheck to the next. This new way of thinking is like learning a new language. At first it feels strange and uncomfortable, but with constant practice, it becomes natural. And when this mindset takes root, the financial decisions we make change fundamentally, paving the way for true prosperity. Think for a moment. Would you play poker with real money without knowing the rules? Or enter a chess match against a master without understanding how the pieces move? That's exactly how most people deal with their finances, without understanding the fundamental rules of the money game. Kiyosaki reveals a powerful truth. The financial world works like a giant game board with specific rules, winning strategies, and traps for the unaware. The rich are not necessarily smarter, they simply know the rules better and have practiced longer. This game is not taught in traditional schools. You may have a college degree and still be a complete beginner in the money game. That's why we see highly qualified doctors, lawyers, and engineers who, despite earning well, remain financially vulnerable. They master their professions, but never learn to play the money game. The rules of this game include understanding concepts like cash flow, leverage, return on investment, and risk management. It includes knowing the difference between assets, which put money in your pocket, and liabilities, which take money out of your pocket. And just like any game, it requires constant practice. The good news is anyone can learn. No matter your age or current financial background, the rules are accessible to everyone, but you have to be willing to study, make mistakes, and learn from them. The truly wealthy see every mistake as a valuable lesson in the great money game, an investment in their financial education, not a final failure. When you start seeing money as a game, your whole perspective changes. Financial decisions become strategic moves, not emotional reactions. You begin to think several steps ahead, not just in the present moment. And gradually, like a chess player anticipating the opponent's moves, you begin to see patterns and opportunities invisible to beginners. Pay your bills, save what's left. This is the traditional financial mantra most of us have heard our whole lives. But Kiyosaki turns this logic upside down with a powerful principle: pay yourself first before anyone else or any institution. What does this mean in practice? When your salary hits your account, the first bill to be paid should be to yourself, a set amount reserved for investments and building wealth. If you wait to pay everyone else, the bank, the government, the credit card companies, and only save what's left, chances are there will never be anything significant left. This simple but revolutionary principle fundamentally changes your relationship with money. It's a subtle shift that produces deep results over time. When you pay yourself first, you are declaring that your financial future is a priority, not a secondary consideration. Many people argue, but I can barely pay my bill, so can I pay myself first? Kiyosaki responds that it is precisely this pressure that creates financial creativity. When you commit to setting aside 10% or more of your income before any spending, your brain is forced to find solutions, whether by reducing expenses, negotiating better terms, or creating additional sources of income. This seemingly small habit creates a mindset of abundance rather than scarcity. You stop being the last person in line to get paid and become the first. Over time, that amount set aside grows, works in your favor, and multiplies, creating a positive cycle of prosperity. Moreover, paying yourself first is an act of financial self-discipline. It's like a muscle that gets stronger with regular exercise. It may be challenging at first, but over time it becomes automatic, a natural part of your financial management. The truly wealthy understand that no one will care for your financial future more than you. While most people wait to see if anything is left over at the end of the month to invest, the prosperous make sure their investments are the first, not the last, financial priority. There is a fundamental difference between people who work for money and people who make money work for them. Kiyosaki invites us to a powerful reflection. How many hours a day is your money working? Most people work hard 8, 10, or even 12 hours a day while their money sits idle in checking accounts or low-yield investments. The truly prosperous reverse this equation. Their money works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, tirelessly multiplying while they sleep. This is the essence of passive income, money that flows to you regularly, requiring little or no effort to maintain. It might seem like magic, but it's pure mathematics. When you put your capital to work in investments that generate consistent cash flow, whether through stock dividends, rental properties, royalties, or structured businesses, you break the direct link between your time and your income. The power of compound interest is often called the eighth wonder of the world, for a reason. A small amount invested consistently over time grows exponentially. It's like a snowball rolling downhill, insignificant at first, but gaining impressive size and momentum over time. Many argue, but I don't have money to invest. Kiyosaki responds that everyone starts small. What matters is not how much you start with, but consistency and the knowledge applied to your investments. Even small amounts directed toward income-generating assets can grow significantly over the years. This shift from working for money to making money work for you represents a profound transformation. It's the difference between endlessly running on a treadmill and building a system that generates wealth even when you're not present. It's understanding that your ability to work is limited, but the potential of your money working is not. The truly prosperous don't just seek a bigger paycheck. They seek assets that multiply their capital and create income streams independent of their time. They understand that true financial freedom comes when your passive income exceeds your monthly expenses, the point at which working becomes a choice, not a necessity. There is a fundamental difference in how different people view money, and that difference shapes their entire financial destiny. Kiyosaki invites us to a deep reflection. Do you think like an employee or like a capitalist? The employee trades time, energy, and knowledge for a paycheck. Their main source of income is active labor. If they stop working, the income stops. This is the reality for over 95% of the population, a total dependence on their ability to work. The problem? Time is limited, as is energy, creating a natural ceiling on how much one can earn. The capitalist, on the other hand, doesn't trade time for money. They acquire and develop assets that generate income. These assets work for them, multiplying over time. A capitalist may own rental properties, dividend-paying stocks, businesses that generate profits, intellectual property that pays royalties, all operating simultaneously without requiring constant presence. This mindset shift is revolutionary. Instead of asking, "How much can I earn per hour?" the capitalist asks, "How can I structure my resources to generate ongoing income?" Instead of looking for a better job, they look for better assets. Instead of selling their time, they buy time through systems that operate independently. What's fascinating is that this mindset doesn't depend on how much money you currently have. Even with limited resources, you can start thinking and acting like a capitalist. This means directing part of your income toward acquiring assets, even if they're small at first. It means studying how assets work and grow, instead of only improving your skills for the job market. Many highly skilled and well-paid professionals remain financially vulnerable because despite their high salaries, they think like employees. Doctors, lawyers, and executives often fall into this trap. They earn a lot, but rely entirely on their ability to work. A health issue or market shift could devastate their finances. True financial security comes from the ability of your assets to generate enough income to cover your lifestyle, regardless of whether you work or not. This is where the capitalist mindset creates extraordinary results over time. A diversified network of income-generating assets that keeps growing, providing both security and freedom. Debt is bad. Avoid debt at all costs. Live debt-free. These pieces of advice sound reasonable, but Kiyosaki offers a revolutionary perspective. Not all debt is created equal. In fact, one of the keys to wealth is understanding and using what he calls good debt. The fundamental difference lies in the purpose. Bad debt is used to finance liabilities, things that drain money from your pocket. That brand new car financed in 60 installments, the latest smartphone bought on a credit card, the vacation paid in monthly installments, all are debts that only reduce your financial capacity and create a vicious cycle of payments. Good debt, on the other hand, is used to acquire or expand income-generating assets. A loan to buy a rental property, as long as the rent covers the loan and expenses, generating positive cash flow. Financing to grow a profitable business, or a strategic loan to invest in a high-return opportunity. These are debts that, when used wisely, can accelerate your journey toward wealth. This concept is deeply counterintuitive for those raised with the mindset that all debt is bad. The question isn't whether you should use debt, but how you use it. It's a powerful tool, like fire, which can heat your home or burn it down, depending on how it's used. The truly wealthy understand the power of financial leverage. They use other people's money, OPM, strategically to acquire assets that increase their net worth. This leverage allows them to multiply their financial impact, controlling assets worth far more than their own invested capital. Kiyosaki emphasizes that using debt productively requires financial education, discipline, and a deep understanding of the numbers. It's not for beginners or the impulsive. You must know how to calculate cash flow, understand the real cost of debt, and critically assess risk. A mistake can be disastrous, but with the right knowledge, good debt becomes one of the most powerful tools for building wealth. Most people fear debt because they've only seen its destructive side, but when you shift your perspective and learn how to use this financial instrument wisely, you'll discover that some of the greatest financial empires were built through strategic and calculated use of other people's capital. Nothing is more certain in this world than death and taxes. This famous quote reveals a universal truth that affects us all. However, there's a striking difference in how average people and the truly wealthy view taxes. Kiyosaki presents a transformational perspective. The rich don't waste time complaining about taxes. They invest time in understanding them and using them to their advantage. Most people work from January to May just to pay taxes, and many spend hours complaining about it. They debate tax rates, criticize government spending, and talk about how much more they could do if they didn't have to hand over such a big chunk of their income. This reactive mindset though understandable, does absolutely nothing to change their financial reality. The truly wealthy take a completely different approach. They understand that the tax code wasn't written just to collect revenue. It was also created to encourage certain economic behaviors that governments want to promote. Investments in specific sectors, job creation, real estate development, research and innovation. These activities often receive significant tax incentives. Instead of seeing the tax code as a book of punishments, the rich view it as a guidebook of incentives. They study the rules in detail, hire competent tax professionals, and structure their businesses and investments to maximize the legal benefits available. It's not about tax evasion or illegal practices, it's about legitimate tax planning. Classic example is the difference in tax treatment between earned income and investment income. In many countries, salaries are taxed at higher rates than dividends or long-term capital gains. The rich structure their finances to receive more income through these tax-advantaged categories. Another strategy lies in understanding deductible expenses. While the typical employee has few deduction options, the entrepreneur can legitimately deduct various business-related expenses, provided they are properly documented and aligned with tax rules. This is not cheating the system, it's using it as it was designed to be used. Kiyosaki also highlights that the wealthy understand the concept of tax timing, the right moment to recognize income or expenses in order to optimize their tax situation. They plan asset sales, profit distributions, and other financial actions with tax impact in mind. The fascinating paradox Kiyosaki reveals is that often those who complain the most about taxes are the ones who understand them the least, and, consequently, the ones who pay the most in proportion. The truly wealthy are not obsessed with paying zero taxes. They know taxes are part of the economic system and are willing to pay their fair share. However, they won't pay a penny more than what the law requires. This mindset shift from outraged victim of the tax system to strategist who understands and uses the rules of the game is one of the defining lines between those who are financially successful and those who are constantly struggling to survive. Investing time and resources into deeply understanding tax laws is one of the highest return investments one can make on the journey to prosperity. And most importantly, this approach isn't just for millionaires. Even those who are just starting their financial journey can benefit from basic tax knowledge, optimizing their current situation and laying the groundwork for more sophisticated strategies as their wealth grows. Imagine your financial life as a table. If that table has only one leg, your salary, what happens if that single leg breaks? The entire table collapses. This is the risk that most people face every day, and Kiyosaki warns us about this dangerous vulnerability. The uncomfortable truth is that no job is 100% secure in today's world. Companies close down. Technologies make jobs obsolete. Economic crises cause mass layoffs, and health problems can keep us from working. When your only source of income disappears, the impact is immediate and devastating. Bills go unpaid, debt piles up, and the psychological pressure is enormous. The truly prosperous understand this risk and consciously work to build multiple legs for their financial table. Each new source of income not only increases the total available, but also fundamentally reduces risk. It's a strategy that offers both growth and protection. These additional sources can start modestly. While keeping your main job, you can develop a small consulting activity using your professional skills, investments in dividend-paying stocks, a rental property generating monthly income, an online side business that works even while you sleep, royalties from intellectual property, such as books, courses, or patents. The power of this advice lies in diversification. When you have 5 or 6 different income streams, none of them need to be huge to create meaningful security. Together, They form a safety net that allows you to make decisions with more confidence and less stress. Kiyosaki emphasizes that building multiple streams of income doesn't necessarily mean working more. It means working smarter. Many of these sources, once established, require minimal maintenance while continuing to generate income. It's the principle of planting several trees that keep bearing fruit year after year. This approach also provides flexibility to explore various passions and talents. Instead of trying to find the perfect job that meets all your financial and personal needs, you can have a mix of activities that, together, create a rich and diversified financial life. The transition from one to multiple income sources doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual journey that begins with the conscious decision not to depend on a single source. Each new stream of income you develop strengthens your financial position and expands your life options. Our society spends years teaching us about history, literature, and science, but rarely dedicates time to teach us how money really works. We leave school knowing how to solve complex equations, but without knowing how to balance a budget, invest for the future, or understand the nuances of taxes and investments. Financial education is not a destination, but an ongoing journey. Markets evolve, laws change, and new opportunities and risks constantly arise. The truly prosperous understand that learning never ends. It is a lifelong commitment. This education takes many forms. Books are an invaluable source of financial knowledge, from classics like Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Kiyosaki himself, to specialized works on real estate investing, the stock market, or entrepreneurship. Podcasts provide access to experts and their experiences during daily commutes. Courses and seminars offer structured learning and networking with like-minded individuals. Even more important is practical education. Kiyosaki often emphasizes the value of financial games like cash flow, which simulate real-world decisions without the risk of losing real money. Small initial investments also act as laboratories where you can apply knowledge and learn from real outcomes. A crucial aspect of this education is the careful selection of mentors and social circles. You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. This powerful insight highlights the importance of surrounding yourself with people who have already achieved what you are aiming for. Their ideas, habits, and mindsets gradually become your own. Many people complain about the cost of financial education. Books, courses, and mentorship come at a price. However, as Kiyosaki wisely points out, the real cost lies in financial ignorance. A single avoidable mistake due to lack of knowledge can cost tens or even hundreds of times more than your entire financial education combined. Financial knowledge is the one asset no one can take from you, that cannot be stolen, and that doesn't depreciate over time. On the contrary, it gains value as you apply and expand it. It is the foundation upon which all sustainable wealth is built. In a world where financial rules are constantly changing, those who commit to continuous learning don't just survive, they thrive. Every book, every seminar, every conversation with a mentor is an investment in yourself that will continue to pay dividends for the rest of your life. If you enjoyed these valuable insights that can transform your financial life, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and share it with that special person you know needs this information to change their financial reality. Sometimes, a single shared video can be the beginning of a major transformation. Thank you for watching.